Hey everyone, it's me, James, aka Lost Turntable, and today we're gonna study Japanese using liner notes from old Mario records. Just kidding. But we are gonna talk about Mario records and CDs and maybe tapes because I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive on Mario music because, in case you don't know, next month Nintendo is going to release the soundtrack to Super Mario World on vinyl. It's the first time they've done that in probably forever. It's the first official Nintendo release of a proper Mario soundtrack outside of like the Rabbids Mario games in forever. And it's a pretty big deal. People are stoked, but there's a lot of great Mario music out there that Nintendo is just sitting on. And while I'm happy that they are releasing or re-releasing the Super Mario World soundtrack, there's a lot of other stuff that I think they should get on. And there's also a lot of other good Mario soundtracks out there that maybe aren't deserving of a re-release, but they're pretty easy to find. And if you like Mario music or music from Mario games or whatever, there's a lot of good releases out there. And I wanted to go over a few of them now. This is not like an end-all, be-all comprehensive list of every single Mario soundtrack. I was gonna do that actually, but there's a lot of them. I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them. And it gets kind of into gray areas of like, this isn't really a Mario soundtrack, but it has songs from Mario games on it. Mario's on the cover of this one, but there's only one Mario song. So I'm just gonna focus on a few releases, some that I think are key, some that I think are funny, and some that I think are really deserving of a re-release. So I'm gonna kind of go in chronological order for the most part, and kind of cover various, releases of the Mario musical oeuvre. The very first Mario soundtrack release was on March 30th, 1986 in Japan. It was not for Super Mario Brothers. It was not for Mario Brothers. It was for Mario no Daiboken, not Mario no Daiboken, which was a VHS and Betamax home strategy guide. It has a soundtrack apparently, and here it is. This is the cover for the soundtrack, which is a vinyl. It's a 7-inch record. I don't believe there was ever a tape release. There are 2 different 7 inches though. And they have slightly different track listings. I'll get to that in a second. So here are the 2 covers. Here's one, and here's the other. And so one is a promo. As you can see, this says not for sale. I don't know the full story behind that. I just know they have different track listings. This one is, I think, the main commercial one. And these don't have sleeves. It's just a piece of paper and then the actual sleeves. So you got to be careful. This has the theme song, which is Mario no Daiboken no theme. And it is it's an arrangement of the main theme with some vocals that aren't great. And then the B-side to this one is a counting song. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try my Japanese, and also the kana is very small, so please be patient. It is Koopa Ichi Kumo Kazoe Oida. Yeah, Oida. Which is a Koopa, it's a traditional Japanese song to teach kids how to count, but they changed the lyrics to be about Koopas. And then the other one just has another song called Go Go Mario, and that's just another arranged version of music from the game. These all have lyrics, as you can see, and all the lyrics are in Japanese, and even though this is like 99% hiragana and I could technically read this, we'd be here all day. I'm not gonna do that. These aren't great, but they're fun, as someone who likes to collect arranged versions of video game soundtracks, these are certainly arranged versions of video game soundtracks. So if I want all of them, these are there. So there you go. Yeah, these are around whenever you go to record stores in Japan. If you go to enough stores, you'll see this one. This one's not that rare. This one, like I said, it was some kind of promo. I haven't seen this one as much, but this one's pretty common. Released the same week as the Mario no Daiboken soundtrack was the actual soundtrack for Super Mario Brothers, which was also on a 45 7-inch single because there's not a lot of music in it. This actually only has the main theme. It has the main theme on side A, and then side B has a remix of the main theme. It's called the orchestral version, but it's not an orchestra. It's like a full rearrangement with synths and samplers. It's really good. It's much better than the music on the other one. This one rules. Also, this one's pretty easy to find. Also, if you come if in Japan and online, there's a million copies of this. You can get it in various conditions. I believe mine is a promo, which happens quite a bit. It doesn't. I don't think it might not say promo on it, but it does have the hole punched out of the corner. So that tells you it's a promo. I love this. I love the packaging on this. It is a poster. So on one side you get this dope poster, which I've seen this artwork before. It's not unique, but it's really good. Isn't that that's the Famicom cover? I'm pretty sure, or a variation of it. And then on the other side you get just some different pictures. I love old game soundtracks because a lot of times they just have pixels from the game, and you can just tell they got a camera as close to a TV as possible and took a photo. As someone who does not edit their videos, I appreciate that that lo-fi technique. Good stuff there. And it also has a sticker sheet. Finding this intact with the sticker sheet completely intact, that's pretty hard to find. These stickers are faded, but they still look pretty good, and I will never peel them because I'm a completionist. But like I said, this is a great release, worth getting, and not too hard to find. It's a little pricey, but probably under $100. And if you're a Mario enthusiast like myself, it's a must-own. Now things get a little strange. We get these are official releases, but they're not really by Nintendo. So in May of '86, we have Super Mario Bros. Mario Syndrome. I don't know if that's like China Syndrome. I hope not, because if I'm in trouble. Mario Syndrome B-side Princess Peach. I want you to appreciate this fantastic artwork. I dig the simplicity, the pixelness of it, everything about it. And then inside there is a little bit of a liner notes, some vocals. These have a little bit of vocals, and so it has the lyrics, and then another great example of let's take a picture of a television screen. Also of note, one thing I really love about these, and I mentioned this before in another video, this has the sheet music. So again, I could give this to my boyfriend who plays the flute, and then he could play this version of the Mario theme on the flute, which would be adorable and strange. This is a great record. It's just 3 songs. Side A is Mario Syndrome, and then side B is Princess Peach with a remix of Mario Syndrome. This release on its own has never been released on CD. However, you can get it on other formats. There's a 7-inch version and a tape version, which I believe have the same ones. Also, I forgot to mention the B-side, the Princess Peach. It says Princess Peach, but it's really a remix of the Underwater theme with Japanese vocals. Of the songs that have Japanese vocals on them, it's one of the better ones. But anyway, yeah, so this is on 12-inch, there's a 7-inch, and a tape version. And if you want Mario Syndrome on CD, there are at least 2 compilations that it's on. I have it on an album called Techno Kayo Electric Love Story King Edition, which is a compilation of Japanese techno pop from the late 70s and early 80s. It's part of a whole series of those that are kind of by label, and that's the one for King Records. Those are great compilations. You can look online. If you go to like Discogs or whatever and type in Techno Kayo, Kayo, Electric Love Story, you'll find one of them, and you can track down the whole series from there. Or if you do a search for Mario Syndrome on Discogs, you can find that. This is a great record. I love this, and it's really hard to find, so I'm happy I have it. Also in May of '86, it's almost like they were ramping up to something, which we'll get to in a minute, was another arrangement album. This is the Sound Mario Bros. Album by the 16-bit Scrollers. 16-bit Scrollers, one ahead of the time for 1986. 16 bits, wow. Anyway, the 16-bit Scrollers were a pseudonym for a Japanese rock band called Portable Rock. They're a techno-pop, synth-pop band. Honestly, I don't know much about them. They're kind of a hole in my Japanese techno-pop knowledge. I should get into them if this was them, because this is a good record. This is an arrangement album of a lot of songs from the first game. And it has some orchestral stuff on there too. The 1986 Super Mario Bros. Odyssey, again, ahead of its time. A Mario Odyssey in '86 is more of like an orchestral thing, while the rest are more techno pop. There was a little bit of Japanese rapping on this. Japanese rapping, especially in the '80s, not the best, but it's still a good release. My copy does not have any liner notes. I don't know if other ones do. Obviously, I bought this used because this came out, in 1986. Again, a really fun release. I like the back cover. Again, the aesthetic of let's take a photo of a TV screen. So many Mario records were coming out in May of '86, I imagine, because the movie was coming out, which I mentioned briefly on another video I did, the Super Mario Brothers, The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. The soundtrack to that came out on July 21st, 1986. I have it. I showed this in another video. This is a promo copy, which makes it rarer. There's nothing different on the audio. The only thing that's different is that it has that sticker there, and the label itself is a little bit different than the one on the official release. In my previous video where I mentioned this, I said it was a horrible soundtrack to a terrible film. That's a bit harsh. Not on the film. The film is terrible. The soundtrack's not bad. It has one pop song called Doki Doki Do It, which is just horrible, especially if you watch the movie, because they sing it like 800 million thousand times. But the rest of the soundtrack is mostly just arranged versions of music from the game. And so that's just good. And the liner notes are great on this. It has this great comic. It has this great comic that has amazing pictures that I've shared on Blue Sky. If you want to see Mario say shit, I hope that's coming through okay. And goddamn, and some other great things that Nintendo would definitely not approve of now. You can get his damn you, shit, and what the hell. Where's what the hell? What the hell? Relatable. Sometimes when I'm playing video games, I will say all those things. I was playing Dredge today and I said that. Anyway, any other good artwork in here? Yeah, good stuff. It's considering the album, considering the movie it's attached to is just hot shit piled on cold trash. The soundtrack, much better than I thought, and it comes in a great, packaging. So that's good stuff. And if you want more of the soundtrack, they released a single to it too, Doki Doki Do It. Here it is, the soundtrack single for Doki Doki Do It from the movie. This has two versions of it on here. Don't ask me the differences, because this song is hell. I listened to it once and never again. It's a horrible song, but I have the single to it. Somebody stop me. Things get even weirder with Mario releases as we get into the 90s. So there we had some soundtrack releases to a movie, a soundtrack release to a VHS and Betamax strategy guide, one game soundtrack, and then two arranged albums. In the 90s, we get a lot more arranged albums and other like ephemera like that. One of them in 1990 is Super Mario Brothers Special, which came out, like I said, in 1990. This has 17 tracks on it, which sounds like a lot, but only 10 of them are music. The other 7 are skits. One thing J-pop, one thing that Japanese game soundtracks and 90s hip-hop have in common: too many skits on their fucking records. I don't know Japanese, so for me the skits just waste time. And additionally, like, even if I knew Japanese, when I'm listening to a record, I'm listening to the music. I don't care about some jokes or some drama or whatever. Very annoying. The music itself isn't bad. The music itself is very late 80s J-pop. So your mileage may vary. Nothing great on this. It is not the best one. And even the pixels inside aren't good. Black and white and yellow. Also not good, But more essential is Super Mario Compact Disco, which came out in 1993. This was a European release by a European producer, DJ guy whose name I've forgotten. He goes by the name Ambassadors of Funk featuring MC Mario here. This also has some skits. It has 7 skits, but it does have 20 tracks. So you're getting more music. The music to skit ratio is much better on this release, and the music is much better. Now, when I say it's better, it's not good. It's 90s Euro house, which, you know, people who know me know I love me some 90s Euro house. I bought all those Sonic CDs. You're talking to a guy who right now can't walk well because he was playing too much DDR this week. So I like me some Euro house. So I'm a little biased here. This album's a blast. It is so stupid. It is so much fun. There are tracks that have generic Euro house singing and generic Euro house rap. All bangers. It's so dumb. And if you like this and you want more, there was a single, the track Super Mario Land, got a single release. It's on vinyl. It's on 7-inch, 12-inch CD, and maybe even tape. I'm not sure. It's a lot of different formats. They all have slightly different track listings. This one just has the track Super Mario Land with the radio version and the instrumental. I don't know if the radio version is different than the album version. Like, it's not a radio edit. It's not like Two Life Crew. I don't think the CD version of Super Mario Land has him talking about, you know, banging the Princess Peach or whatever, but it might just be an edit. I don't know. Again, great picture of a TV screen. These are fun releases. If you can track these down, big time recommend. These are definitely. I cannot imagine they'd be streaming. You know what? I'm gonna check. You know what? Color me corrected. In Japan, at least, these are streaming. So if you want it, you don't even have to buy this. You can go on Spotify and stream Super Mario Compact Disco. Wow, there are more versions. There is the iOS release. It got re-released at one point apparently. So yeah, this one's actually streaming. I don't think none of those are streaming. Maybe, I mean, the Mario theme is streaming on Nintendo's app, of course, but nothing else there is streaming. This is actually streaming on Spotify. What a world. Now we're going to get into some actual game music releases. And so I know Nintendo has an app where you can stream music. I don't stream music almost ever. I've never used the app, so I don't know which one of these are on the app. I know a lot of the songs aren't. Like, for example, here is the soundtrack to Super Mario Bros. 3 on CD. There is an LP of this. The last time I saw it, it was going for $1,000. I like Mario. I'm depressed. I have disposable income. I don't like Mario that much. I'm not that depressed. I don't have that much disposable income. I ain't buying that. I bought the CD. It was much cheaper. It was like $50 when I bought it. This is a great release. It's also on tape. I have the tape. And the tape has, I think, some cool stuff inside. Let's see. Yes, it does. The tape has, oh yeah, this is good. The tape has a great fold-out poster. Check that. Banger. And then the back is good too. This feels like newsprint though, so I'm gonna be exceedingly careful when I put it back in, so I'll just put it aside for now. And it also has a holographic sticker, man. Oh, this takes me back to like 4th grade Trapper Keeper shit. This is good. It's a good sticker. Oh, that's tempting. I'm gonna put that back before I peel it. And in case you're curious, here's the tape. It's a tape. So yeah, and the CD might have a similar thing. I don't think so. Oh yeah, the CD has a poster too. I haven't opened these in forever because I put them on my hard drive. I put them onto my hard drive. So this has the same posters, but on better stock, like CD, glossy paper. So you got your options there. Same one. Much better. I kind of like the texture of the thin one, but it feels like it's going to break in my hands. This has weight to it. This folds easily, all that stuff. And then this the regular sleeve. No stickers in mine, but that doesn't mean anything. There could have been stickers at one point, and the person who bought it in 1988 could have used them. This is a great soundtrack. Obviously, if you played Mario 3, you know that. But it's not just a soundtrack. So it's an interesting release because it's only five tracks. So track 1, 2, 3, and 4, all those are arranged versions. Like track 1 is called the Super Mario Brothers Athletics arranged version. Track 2 is A Day of Mario, SE edit version. Track 3 is Underground Melody, SE edit version 2. Then 4 is the medley arranged version, and 5 is and then this track 5, which I'll get to in a second. So these are all arranged versions, which is like Japanese for remix. They're really good. A lot of synthesizers, a lot of samplers, some live instrumentation. The SE edit songs, tracks 2 and 3, those are fun because they take sound effects from the game and kind of mix it into the music. Not totally randomly, like it matches the beat. If you've ever heard like Hosono Hiromi's Super Xevious hardcore mix, you'll know what I mean. It's really a unique way to incorporate the sound effects into the game. And then track 5 is like 15 minutes, and it's all the game music original versions as one long track. A lot of old releases did that, and I don't understand it. Later on, they would change that and give each individual sound effect and each individual audio or music or whatever its own track. But here you have 9 tracks. It's kind of hard to read here. Even to me, it's hard to read. You probably can't see that. It has 9 sub-tracks under one track. And they're all in katakana, and it's red text on the green background. I'm not going to read that. But it's all the music from the game. This is a great soundtrack because it's great. It's just strange. If you just want the music from the game and nothing else, there are these, I don't have it with me right now, but there are these tiny little CDs that came out, I think, in the 2000s. This is the one for Super Mario Brothers, but there's one also for Mario Brothers 3, which just has all the music from Mario Brothers 3 in it and nothing else. Just make sure, if you ever find a tiny CD like this, make sure your CD tray is the type that has that indent, either has an indented part where these can go in deeper, or it's the kind where you pop it in. If it's the kind where you slide it in, once you slide this fucker in, it ain't gonna come out unless you take the CD player apart, so keep that in mind. Before I cover some more official Nintendo soundtracks, I want to take a quick detour and talk about 2 albums by a group called the Akihabara Electric Circus. They released 2 albums in 1988. They released this one here called Toy Music, which I also have on CD. And they released an arranged album version of Super Mario Bros. 3 with different, as you can tell, different artwork. These all came out on Toy Music came out on CD, LP, and tape. There's a tape version, I don't have that. I believe this only came out on CD and tape. I do not think there's an LP for it, although I could be wrong. 88's kind of an odd year for LPs in Japan, and something this niche might not have gotten a full LP release. This is obviously just an arranged soundtrack to Super Mario Bros. 3. This has not just Mario, it has other stuff on it. Actually, it only has 2 Mario songs on it. It has the classic Mario theme and electronic and a very short arranged version of that called the Caribbean version, steel drums. The rest of it's stuff from Famicom Detective Club, Metroid, Zelda, and a few other games that you can see back here. The kart racing game, not Mario Kart, but yeah, F1 race, and some other games. I just wanted to briefly mention it because I wanted to mention this one too, and I figured I might as well cover both. Because Akihabara Electric Circus is a really interesting group. It is 3 people. It is Takahashi Matsumoto, who was in April Fool and Happy End, who were 2 very influential Japanese rock groups founded by Hiromi Hosono, who went on to form YMO and released some of the earliest game music on his own later. Jun Ire, or Irie, I may be saying that wrong. That person composed the music for Zillion, the anime Zillion, not the game, the anime. And then most notably, Hideki Matsutake. Hideki Matsutake, I think I mentioned in a video before, he was the synthesizer programmer and sequencer programmer for YMO's first few albums, who's a massively, hugely influential musician in Japan. And this is one of like 18,000 pseudonyms he has. They released 2 other albums One is called Aircon. That is on Spotify, at least in Japan. And the other I forgot the name of, but it's covers of old TV themes. I have a single for it. I have their cover of the theme to Batman. It's the theme to Batman. Apparently this came out on April 12th. It's almost the anniversary. Great stuff. These are hard to find. I paid, I think, well over $100 for this. It's very rare, and this is the promo version again. And I don't think, does it have any, and this has, let's take a look at the liner notes of this, just so we know. Anything good? Nah, it's a black and white liner notes. Nothing that special. But the music is very special. I'm very happy I own this. It's a great release. So now, the reason we're here, the soundtrack, I'll explain in a minute, to Super Mario World. This is the CD version. This came out in 1991. It is 2 discs. You know, good old thick case, 2 discs. Disc 1 is interesting. Disc 1 is an arranged album and is jazz. It is Japanese jazz as a mother. If you like city pop, you'll dig this. If you like jazz, you'll dig it. If you like Mario, you'll dig it. I dig it. I don't even like jazz. It's very light and breezy, almost easy listening at times. Like, if you put this on in a dentist's office, I wouldn't know it's Mario right away. I'd just be like waiting for my root canal and be like, do, 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 do. It's really, it's interesting, it's good. It's by a dude named Soichi Noriki, who was a Japanese jazz musician. So that makes sense that the album will be jazzy. If you may have noticed, I kind of had like a double take there for a second because I just realized something I never noticed before. So here are the liner notes, and it has everyone who's involved, and it has a picture here, and you can take a look at this and see for yourself. It has Innocent Mind Forever, and then it has a little picture of Mario, and then 2 people here. On the left, you have Sadao Watanabe, who is the sound producer for the album. On the right, you have Koichi Sugiyama, who apparently worked as the general producer on this album. For those of you who don't know, Koichi Sugiyama was the composer for the Dragon Quest games, and allow me to editorialize, a massive piece of shit garbage human being. I'm annoyed he worked on this, but oh well. Anyway, so the first CD is the arranged version. The second CD is more interesting in my opinion. The second CD not only has all the music from Super Mario World, it has all the music from Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, and Mario Land, and I think all the sound effects too. The sound effects are at the end, thankfully, so you don't just, but it's like nonstop sound effects. It's 96 tracks on the second CD, plus 11 on the first CD. I think the new LP I read somewhere it has 170 some tracks. I bet it's the same stuff, they just cut it up differently. But yeah, it's a great release. I wish this was getting re-released on CD. This is the one they're re-releasing on vinyl only. Vinyl's great. Yo, I like vinyl, but CDs sound better. CDs sound better. CDs sound better than vinyl. If you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. CDs objectively have more dynamic range when mastered correctly and are more, when you're playing them, you don't get cracks and dust. You don't have to worry. You very rarely have to worry about a mispressing with a CD. You don't have to worry about, you can clean a CD a hell of a lot easier than you can clean a record. And most importantly for me, I can copy the CD to my Walkman, and then it's much easier than vinyl, which I obviously, if you've been following me on the internet for the past 20 plus years, I copy my records to my computer. That takes time. This takes minutes. So I really, really, really hope they re-release this on CD. The demand's there. This goes for over $100 online now. So people want it. Yo, Nintendo, let me give you money. I'll buy it again. Check me, I'm that guy. And then a few more really quick, just some other official releases that I think are worth mentioning and in many cases worth a re-release. The soundtrack to Super Mario 64 is out of print. I believe it's on Nintendo's streaming service, but if you want to exchange money for a physical product, if you want to engage in capitalism with Nintendo in its most purest form, they won't fucking let you do it. I think there are only 3 official releases of this. This is the Japanese one. It has the obi inside. And that's what the CD looks like. And there is a very janky looking ones from America and Europe, I believe were mail order only. They look like bootlegs, they're not. They have different covers that are terrible. But those are official. And they all have the same music on them. So if you're looking for an official one, like when you go to Discogs or go to eBay or something like that, check out for those other versions. They're still expensive, but they're gonna cost less than this. Keep in mind, any tape release, I believe there might have been one tape. Any new looking tape and any vinyl is counterfeit. And when you buy the CD, if you get a CD, be careful. There are a lot of counterfeit CDs. When I don't mean like people making their own and selling them and you know it's not an official release. People copy this and charge you $100 for it, and then you get home and it's not real. So this will not show up on camera. Check the numbering in here. Like when you buy a CD, CDs have matrix numbers here. Look for that kind of stuff. Check the clarity of the artwork. Make sure all this text is on the back. Stuff like that to make sure you're buying an official release. Make sure it has the obi. Stuff like that will help you guarantee that you're getting a real version and not a counterfeit. You know how I feel about counterfeits. I do not like counterfeits. Moving into the 2000s, now we have the Mario and Zelda Big Band Live CD. Live at Nihon Seinemken Hall, 14 September 2003. So this is over 20 years old. Yeah, math is hard. This is, as you can tell from the title, this is a big band arrangement of the Mario and Zelda music. I believe 10 of the tracks are from Mario. 18 tracks, 10 are from Mario. So the majority is Mario. I think Mario music is banging and jumpy and fun and energetic. It works well as a big band soundtrack. I mean, if anything, Odyssey proved that. With big, like the city level has big band music in it. Zelda works less as big band music. But this is a fun release. I don't listen to it too often, but it's good. Now back to the category of albums that are out of print that shouldn't be. 3 more official soundtracks. First, we have the soundtrack to Super Mario Galaxy, and then of course the soundtrack to Super Mario Galaxy 2. There are multiple versions of this. This is the platinum version, that is 2 discs. So it has, obviously, I think every song on it. All the versions of Mario Galaxy 2 are 2 discs. I think they must have learned their lesson. I think both of these were fan club only releases in for Club Nintendo. Club Nintendo only releases in Japan. They have the Club Nintendo thing in the corner there. The platinum edition of this can go for a bit online. I see this at every store that sells game music in Japan. It's not that hard to come by. These are obviously like 2 of the greatest soundtracks in the history of video games, in my not so humble opinion. So they're must-owns. I would hope these are on Nintendo streaming app. They re-released the games recently, right? So like you'd think they'd want people to listen to the music. I wish they would let people buy the music on CD. And again, there are no official vinyl releases of these. So if you see one, it is a bootleg, it is a counterfeit. If you want to buy it, go for it, but don't spend $100 for a counterfeit. And then one more soundtrack, the soundtrack to Super Mario 3D World. This one's fun. It's just a sound, it's a 2 CD set. Again, Club Japan exclusive. 2 more slightly odder ones I want to mention. In 2010 was Mario's 25th anniversary. So they released this interesting thing here. This it looks like a game, but it's not. It's a soundtrack. I believe it might have came with one of the games or with a certain edition of the Wii. But it's not the best soundtrack because it has 10 songs from Mario Brothers, Mario USA, which is Mario 2, in America, obviously. Mario Brothers 3, World 64, Sunshine, New Super Mario Brothers, and New Super Mario Brothers Wii, Galaxy, and Galaxy 2. And then the second half of it is just sound effects. So that's not great, but it has some, the booklet's great. The booklet has a nice timeline, some good pictures, nice information if you can read in Japanese, which I cannot, and good concept art, things like that. And you can find this really cheap. If you go to any book off in Tokyo, you will see this. So it's fine. And then very closely related to that is the 30th anniversary Super Mario Brothers music CD. This is much better. If you're the kind of weirdo who only wants one Mario soundtrack, I guess get this one. This kind of covers everything you'd want. It has stuff from Mario and Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario Land, Mario World, Mario USA, American Mario 2, Mario Land 2, 64, Sunshine, New Super Mario Brothers for the DS and the Wii, the 3DS and the Wii U, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, 3D Land, 3D World, and it has a track from Mario Maker. I believe, and I could be wrong, I am wrong sometimes, I believe this is the only CD that has a song from Mario Maker on it. So that's a pretty cool exclusive deal. And also, just like the other one, very detailed, very elaborate liner notes that kind of go over each release covered on the CD. So a really good release. Anywho, that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed that look at some of the more notable Mario releases on CD, vinyl, tape, whatever. Like I said before, I know there are others. Maybe one day I'll cover even more game music. Like everything from the Invader there, which I think you can see. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera. This is dangerous. So you see the Invader down there? Everything from him, let's move it back up here. There we go. Everything from him to like the three cubes after, that's all game vinyl. And then in my other room is a mountain of game music on CD. So leave a comment if there's any era or any game or anything about game music that you think might be interesting, you want to know more about, let me know. Maybe I'll make a video about it. And like I said, I'm still working on that Yellow Magic Orchestra one. That's going to be a mountain of research. That's going to take a very long time. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back again soon. See you next time. Take care. Oh, and if you like my content, hi, I'm a whore for attention. I'm on Blue Sky, check me out on Blue Sky, and I do have a movie podcast, Cinema Oblivia, where I talk about weird old movies and such. Just last week or week before, I put up an episode about the movie The Bees, which is a movie about killer bees starring John Saxon. You can find that movie on YouTube because whoever owns the copyright doesn't give a fuck. It's a great bad movie with one of the most batshit B-shit endings you'll ever see. So check that out if you can. All right, now we're all finished. I'll see you next time. Later.